What the FBI just found in Las Vegas is pretty concerning. Authorities have uncovered a possible illegal biological lab in someone's home.
This is a government employee, a health inspector, pouring bleach into this street vendor's food.
Trump just announced $2,000 stimmy checks. This could be our next ticket to generational wealth, so pay attention. The money isn't the point here, it's what you do.
Welcome back to Chill Spot, where the eerie and unexplained come to life. Tonight's episode is packed with some of the most chilling and mind-boggling videos we've ever featured. Each one will leave you questioning what's real. This episode might just be the most unsettling one yet, so sit back and brace yourself. The show is about to start, so let's do this.
I've seen a lot of crazy videos on here, but this, honestly, it tops several categories. This is a government employee, a health inspector, pouring bleach into this street vendor's food, which they deemed unsafe. They will never deem McDonald's food unsafe, by the way. So this is if you live in the US, you're paying her salary to pour bleach into people's food. And the biggest, craziest freaking part, the city of Denver defends the health inspector. The optics of this don't look good. Now, what's being purported by the health inspection agencies? They've been trying to contact this person for a while. They're making food in their kitchen they're not really supposed to. They think they're not having proper refrigeration. To me, it's crazy they're putting this much effort into stopping a food truck vendor, all while at the same time we have Monsanto, some say, forever altering the food supply with their genetic modification experiments. And that, of course, they're not going to investigate Monsanto. They investigate themselves. They're top dollar with freaking half the guys in Monsanto work at the White House. So you know what? Maybe this food truck vendor wasn't storing things properly. Maybe he was making some of the stuff in his kitchen, which you're not supposed to, yada yada. But there's bigger fish to fry. By the way, this is why I always keep bentonite clay and activated charcoal. If you ever eat anything that could make you, and this is not medical advice, but activated charcoal and bentonite clay, that absorbs, like, look at what you could eat. I'm not going to tell you what you can't eat with that, but that'll stop you from feeling and it's freaking amazing. And also interesting that they use bleach, because last I checked, that's exactly what they add to the water supply to clean it. And if it wipes out the bacteria in the water, you can imagine what it does to your microbiome, where all your beneficial bacteria is supposed to be. What's going on with the food and water supply today is truly shocking. If you think it might be important to start detoxing, right now Chalk is giving away free superfoods. This is the Chad mode. It has organic blue spirulina in it, which binds to free radicals, heavy metals, and phthalates and excretes it out of the body. Plus, it has organic caffeine, cold water extracted from green coffee beans. This is a natural energy drink / pre-workout, extremely detoxing. And if you combine that with the hot water purified shilajit or the Chalk lit powder, you're getting some of the most potent superfoods in the natural world. Comment free below and check your DMs for details.
Always be careful of the food y'all pick up on the street. Y'all saw what that she did right there, caught live on camera. Think of all the people will buy from there, and they don't know what has been done to the food. Let's continue.
What the FBI just found in Las Vegas is pretty concerning. Authorities have uncovered a possible illegal biological lab in someone's home. And this doesn't appear to be some weekend hobby. Not only did they find over 1,000 samples of unknown substances which had to be sent away for testing, but the owner of the home, a Chinese national, was arrested in 2023 for running another biological lab all the way over in California. And that lab, which allegedly received funding from Chinese banks, had samples with very concerning labels on them, including HIV, malaria, TB, COVID-19, and even Ebola. Now, the samples found at this Las Vegas lab on Saturday were, quote, consistent in appearance with the items found and described in the California lab investigation. So this now raises a serious concern. What are these samples being used for? And if 2 labs have now been discovered, could there be even more?
Crazy how people live in them homes, having a biolab at home. It's just insane. Guess they did not have much visitors. Or maybe your neighbor might be doing something like this. Drop a comment below of what you think. Let's continue.
Trump just announced $2,000 stimmy checks. This could be our next ticket to generational wealth, so pay attention. The money isn't the point here, it's what you do with it. This is what happened last time people got stimulus checks, and they made money. 1,200 in Bitcoin would be 21,000 today. The same thing in Ethereum would have been 60K. And the same thing in Shiba Inu would have been, I don't want to talk about it. But this time it's going to be way bigger because we know where the money is actually going. Because your boy and his whole family have been running this show the whole time. The whole team has been signaling that the USD1 ecosystem is the next big narrative. And they're partnering with Radium and Bonk Fund to do this. I mean, they literally just printed 300 million in USD1 stablecoins, pumping all their tokens. Now, in my opinion, all the signs are pointing to a coin called War. Because all the articles are saying that the US is trying to tokenize every asset. And if you look at DEX, it makes sense. This is paired with USD1, Trump's crypto company. And I told you I'm heavily invested in here. If you want the CA, comment War so you don't get the wrong one. And remember, this is just what I'm buying, not financial advice. I do own this coin, so if it goes up, I do benefit. Do your own research, and hopefully I make some money.
A lot of schemes like these have been on lately, but that was not financial advice or anything, just for entertainment and educational purposes. And always do your own research. Let's continue with the rest of the video.
Why this is hard? It's hard!
この雨の中で燃える運命とはメイゴ PTSD エディション
AI videos are getting insane. Right, that video even got our show speed going. Shout out to the creator of that clip. If you are not subscribed, you are really missing out. Hit that subscribe button so that you do not miss out. Let's continue.
Have you seen that TikTok account that suddenly went viral just a few days after it was created? There aren't many videos on it, but every single one of them has millions of views, and for a very disturbing reason. These videos are supposedly filmed by a man who actually lives in North Korea. And that alone should already raise questions. Most people in North Korea don't have access to a cell phone. They don't have real internet. And they absolutely don't have TikTok. The only people allowed to show the country are government officials or very controlled foreign tourists. And even tourists risk serious consequences if they film the wrong thing. But this man doesn't look like a tourist. And he definitely doesn't look like someone working for the government. Judging by what he shows, he lives in a small, poor apartment. Sometimes you can hear pipes, wind, or voices through the walls. His phone is old, the video quality is rough, and the colors look washed out. Like the device barely works. He films his meals, simple rice, corn noodles, vegetables from government rations. He films his TV playing North Korean news, always loud, always repetitive, almost like it's meant to fill the entire room with propaganda. And in several videos, he points the camera at the TV just a little too long. Long enough for viewers to notice that the broadcasts keep mentioning preparation, readiness, and external threats. Some people think he's quietly hinting that North Korea might be getting ready for a conflict. Others believe he isn't hinting at anything, he's warning us. Because the way he films, the way he moves the camera, the way he avoids showing his face, it feels like someone who knows he could get caught at any moment. And the scariest part? His uploads are becoming less frequent. Shorter. Quieter. Almost as if someone else has started to notice. What do you think? Is this a real North Korean TikTok account, or something much darker? Tell me in the comments, I read them all. And if you want more dark and mysterious stories, subscribe to me, or we'll never meet again.
That was very creepy how they live up there in Korea. That clip really gave me the chills for a minute there. Not much is known from there, but living in this kind of situation is very disturbing. Drop a comment below what you think.
This guy claims he's stuck in France in the year 2055 and can't find a way back. And everything he shows in his videos looks disturbingly unreal. For several years now, he's been posting clips that depict a future completely devoid of people. The footage shows empty streets and total silence. The roads are deserted, yet vending machines and terminals are still working, as if the country itself still exists, but its population has completely vanished. In some videos, he walks into stores and shows shelves full of video games made for the PlayStation 7. Even more unsettling, every single game on display is designed for that console, a system that doesn't even exist in our time. One detail in particular really alarmed viewers. A nearly empty vending machine with just one bottle left inside. The date on it is clearly visible, April 2055. According to him, it's a drink that hasn't even been released yet in our present day. Even more disturbing is the moment when he enters the Louvre and films the Mona Lisa from up close. The room is completely empty. No guards, no tourists, as if time itself has frozen. He does the same with the Eiffel Tower, showing it surrounded by absolute silence and emptiness. What makes the story even more unsettling is the fact that he started posting these videos long before the explosion of AI and modern visual tools.
Wow, that's crazy, living all alone in the whole world. Tell us in the comments what you would do if you woke up one day and find yourself the only one in the world, and leave a like for the channel. Let's continue.
How long have you people known about these other human species, okay? These people deserve the truth, buddy, and I'm gonna give it to them.
Look, man, during my time in at the agency, there was research on what was known as Region 8, right? Full of all these derivative human species, undocumented land masses, okay? One of which was known as Panthea, right? Rock-textured terrain, far outside of the parameters of sunlight, okay? And inhabited by a species with biological adaptations so unorthodox that we had them flagged as the most dangerous specimen on the planet.
What kind of adaptations we talking?
The lack of sunlight in this region had basically given them daytime level visibility in the darkest of night, okay? Biokinetic abilities, their electromagnetic output is so disproportionate to other organisms, it allows them to take control of other entities' central nervous systems, simply through eye contact, okay?
I mean, you're scaring me here, man.
Yeah, man, I should be, because back in the late 90s, we ran an extraction operation to capture and contain one.
That's crazy. Did you just see that creature move in between the woods? If it was me, I would have took up out of there in a flash. Got to give it to the person in the camera. Had the balls to stay and record. Let's continue.
The sun is 4.6 billion years old, and it's not even middle-aged yet. It has another 5 billion years of fuel left, which sounds like forever, but here's where it gets strange. The universe is running out of the raw material needed to build new stars. The hydrogen clouds that collapse and ignite into stars, they're being used up, slowly, quietly, permanently. Scientists estimate that in about 100 trillion years, the universe will form its last star ever, the very last one. After that, no new stars, ever again. Our sun will be long gone by then, but the universe will still be here, dark, cold, filled with dead stellar remnants, slowly fading into silence. We exist in what might be the golden age of the universe, the era of stars, the era of light, and it's already halfway over.
Meanwhile, while everybody is distracted by Trump administration, Epstein files, and these protests that are going on across America for these ICE agents and soldiers, the CIA is quietly releasing documents, experiments, etc., stating that you are a super atomic being. And you got super natural abilities, and you just don't know it. And they're keeping you from being able to know that by distracting you with their propaganda. And it's going literally to plan, and it's pissing me and my homegirls off. Literally. The energy shift in the tectonic plates is here, not near. They are hijacking your energy and your frequency so that way you can be in a lower energetic state, so that way you can't access and tap into the ether, so that way you can't unlock your DNA DEA, and you can be stuck in this energetic simulation that they are forcing you to curate, because you don't even realize that you're creating it through the observer effect, and you're the observer. And if you don't believe me, I can cut to the clips of many of people that are tapping into this energy that is free to you. You just gotta go into you to access it and stop looking everywhere else. Go to the clip. Look at this shit. With his mind. Next clip. Are you seeing this? I don't know about you, but that's what I'm about to get tapped into, period. Bye.
Quite an informative video there. Think of all the hidden or so-called classified documents that the CIA have. You never miss a video or two nowadays. Talking of these CIA documents, shout out to here. Let's continue.
I'm not saying anything strange or demonic or evil is happening with major celebrities, but after you watch this video, you may wonder what the common theme is here. Zach Brown Band, remember the latest video with him? That was freaking shocking, dude. I'm talking demonic stuff. Katy Perry, look at her at the top, and there she is. I mean, they all seemingly do this. And maybe the going theory, Migos too, wow. The going theory is that they had to make a deal to get that famous when they were at the top. And part of that deal is doing this once you're famous. Like, you gotta do it. And someone once said, it's kind of like, look, Little Yachty, you know what they say? It's, you get to a point in your career where if you don't join the club, you say goodbye to the fame and fortune that you were dreaming of. And that's the only way to get there. Oh, gosh. Don't even get me started on The Weeknd, dude. The Weeknd, in the background of one of his performances in the Netherlands, it literally said Satan on the board for one split second. Someone paused it. So you gotta wonder, dude, are these rituals, are these I mean, what do you even think about it? Oh yeah, Megan Fox, of course. Tyler, the Creator, he was into some pretty dark stuff as well. Kesha, oh yeah, Pentagram, no big deal there. Mr. Beast, oh yeah, no shit, when he did that on the with Rockefeller there, the devil horns. Rihanna, we all know this. Where's Beyonce on here? Lil Wayne, oh damn, he did go satanic too. Sam Smith, holy crappers, talk about a glow up, man. Taylor Swift, we know she went down the rabbit hole as well. Of course, Beyonce, I knew she'd be on there. Where's Jay-Z? He should be on here too. We know he's up to, you know, something. I don't know that I miss any of them. I'm just like, it's clear that something's going on with them. You don't want to worship celebrities, by the way. It actually is a form of, it's indicative of lower IQ, people who worship celebrities and whatnot. So what's this, man? I mean, we're talking holographic. None of this is love and light. None of this is love, light, happiness, prosperity, organicness. It's clear to be negative. It's clearly negative intent. Let me know your thoughts below, and follow for more.
That clip was really creepy. Right, these musicians really do some crazy stuff. I'm sure you have known a thing right there. He did put thing together is just well done, and I can't add any more. Let's continue.
Recently, we were called to Calcutta to witness kids moving objects with their minds on this course. Intuition Process Level 2. But wait, let me put you in context. In Intuition Process Level 1, kids awaken their sixth sense with many special meditation techniques they learn. Suddenly, they are able to see while blindfolded, and this is only one of many new skills they develop. In IP Level 2, they go to another level. They practice telekinesis, moving objects with the power of their mind. One of the exercises is moving paper, learning to command it to move to the right or to the left. The majority by the end of the course manage to do it. They also learn to perceive lost scriptures, lost languages, and even other languages they don't know, based on some testimonials.
And while I was practicing intuition and chanting the mantra, then this mantra flashed into my eyes, and also a sound was constantly echoing in my ears. When I penned it down on the paper and read the entire mantra, I found it to be a Sanskrit shloka. This experience was really mesmerizing for me.
Finally, to go beyond, they learn to interact with matter and influence it using the power of the mind. For example, bending spoons. As they practice over time, we have witnessed kids breaking apples or bending spoons, almost as if the metal becomes liquid. This is amazing, right? Have you ever thought your kid could also learn to tap into their maximum potential too? Comment intuition to know more.
Wow, that's very awesome. I wish I would have taken to that school when I was a kid. Who knew we could teach our minds to do such powerful things? Drop a comment below if you know where this place is. I would like to go there.
Это уже называется баланс. баланс на куске воздуха. Мои вибрации сейчас настолько сильны, что я могу остановить часы, я могу остановить метроном, абсолютно все.
It's incredible, but what I saw changed my attitude toward vibrations. The thing is, this spiral is one of those varieties, and with its help, you can perform telekinesis. Look at how my like-minded friend does telekinesis, just using a spiral like this on his hands. My name is Ernst Wieder, and I will show you everything you've been dreaming of for so long. Welcome to my world of superpowers.
Well, there is some proof of the abilities we have, and we have not yet known how to use. Those clips were really awesome, and thought you should have a look at them. Let us proceed with the rest of the video.
All right, Keem, can you explain to us how you would know if you were one of the chosen ones?
All right, let me speak this straight from the soul. How do you know if you're one of the chosen ones? You don't get a letter in the mail. There's no ceremony, no angel shows up at your door, but you feel it deep down, like your bones been whispering to you since the womb. Here's how you know. One, you don't fit in, and you never have. You could be in a room full of people and still feel like you're on the outside looking in. Even your own family feels distant, like they don't get you. That's because they're not meant to get you. The chosen ones don't come here to blend in. They come here to stand out, to disrupt. Two, your mind works differently. You question everything. You were the kid who asked, but why? Over and over. You never bought into the system. School didn't make sense. Clocking into some 9 to 5 like a robot, that made your skin crawl. You always knew there was something more, you just couldn't prove it yet. You've been broken, but not destroyed. Chosen ones go through hell early. Addiction, abuse, abandonment, betrayal. You've lost people you loved. You've faced demons people couldn't imagine, but here's the thing. You didn't just survive. You transformed. Pain didn't poison you, it purified you. Bullforth, you trigger people without trying. People either love you, or they can't stand you. You walk in a room and the energy shifts. That's because your light exposes their shadows. Your very presence challenges their comfort zone. You don't even have to say anything. You are the message. 5, you've always felt like you're being watched or protected. This one's deep. Like there's something or someone watching over you. You should have been dead. You should have been locked up forever. You should have lost your mind. But you didn't. Somehow, some way, you got pulled out of the darkness every single time. That's not luck. That's divine protection. You can't fake it anymore. Every time you try to play normal, the universe smacks you. Jobs fall through. Relationships blow up. That fake version of you starts crumbling. That's the calling getting louder. Because chosen ones aren't allowed to settle. You're here for a reason, and your soul won't let you forget that. Your mission is bigger than you. You're not just here to survive and laugh. You're here to break cycles, to wake people up, to lead, heal, build, teach, or guide. You know it. You've always known it. And the longer you ignore it, the louder life starts screaming. Final word. If any of this hit your chest like a truth bomb, if you read this and felt like I was describing you, then I'm not here to convince you you're chosen. I'm just here to remind you of what you already know.
Hello, my name is Alfred Bielik, more commonly known as Al Bielik. Original family name is Edward Cameron. I have been involved in the Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk Project, time travel, alien connections at the Montauk Project, and some other projects, all of which have been secret over the years, most of which have never been declassified. I wound up in the 28th century, and this was in a time period of 2749 to 2751 AD. Talk about changes in civilization, society, and everything else. It was drastically changed from what we saw in 2137, as this is now 600 years later. The cities were enormous, the cities were beautiful, They had ground-based cities, much as we have always had them, but they also had something else, floating cities. Floating cities, due to anti-gravity techniques being perfected sufficiently that they could float an entire city, which was perhaps not as large as any of our current cities. It was round, or very nearly round, but it floated on this platform, and they could move the city any place they wanted, remaining floating in the air, 4,000 or 5,000 feet above the ground, perhaps, or a little less, depending on what they wanted. But the size of the city was vertical rather than horizontal, 2,200 stories high. That's about 2.5 miles. The cities could move anywhere on the planet. Basically, they stayed hovering and floating. If they didn't like a particular location, they moved somewhere else. There wasn't that much traffic in moving cities, I can assure you, because the world population in that era, the 28th century, was only 500 million, and I was instructed later that that was where they had held it for centuries. There would be no more than approximately 500 million population. Some of the features of this, let's start from the political standpoint. As I learned, all of these cities, whether they're ground-based cities, which the majority were, because they had to do manufacturing, they had to have agriculture and various other things to supply the needs of civilization. But all of them, whether floating or ground-based, were rather interesting in their governmental form. They had essentially no government. There's no government as we know it today. There was no money, there's no banks, there's no political jurisdictions, and it resolved down to what would be best called a city-state structure, where the city is the state, and any other cities from that one are independent and operate in their own independent manner. So that was the major change there. There was no elected government, there was no appointed government, there was no government as we haven't seen it in the past. As I found out, each city was run by an intelligent computer, synthetic intelligence, synthetic consciousness, a highly radioactive crystalline structure. Who built them, I had no idea. Nobody seemed to know, but they've been there for hundreds of years. And this computer ran the entire city.
The future really looked great we saw from that video. I know I wouldn't be there in that time, but hope it will come to the Prosilo. Tell us in the comments section if you would like to time travel to that place and time.
Guys, we found floating islands in the sky beyond Antarctica. I can't believe it.
Guys, we're on top of one of the islands. The view looks crazy from here, and we're going to investigate this island.
Okay, careful now, this stone is loose.
Guys, we're deep inside the island now. There are so many questions about this place, and nothing here makes sense.
That was a great video, but I think that was all AI. I think of a place that have floating mountains. That would be insane. Good to see people are using AI to create such great content. Let's proceed with the video.
Can a human become a god? What if you could storm heaven, sit your ass down on a divine throne, and become an angelic being so powerful that even the angels themselves have to bow before you? Well, what if I told you, according to an ancient book, it's already happened, and that religious leaders have been hiding that from you for millennia? We're about to dive headfirst into one of the most wildest forbidden stories in all of mysticism, the saga of Metatron, aka the archangel that used to be a human, and how his transformation blows apart every lie you've been told about the limits of being human. So if you think you're just human, think again, because we're going to reveal exactly how you can become a god. My name is Morg. I'm an ex-Christian blowing the lid off hidden knowledge to wake the world the hell up and make enlightenment go viral. And today we're exposing the truth about Metatron and how to become divine. So who or what is Metatron in the first place? No, he's not the villain from the Transformers movies. That's a different guy. Among all the famous angels, Metatron is the most mysterious and powerful. He's sometimes called the lesser Yahweh, essentially a mini-me of God himself. Yeah, you heard that right. A human being became almost as powerful as God. And that was so blasphemous, the ancient rabbis practically wet themselves trying to downplay it. See, they were freaked out at Metatron's near-divine status. So where the hell does this crazy story even come from? Well, it's from an ancient text known as 3rd Enoch. Yeah, you've heard of the Book of Enoch, right? You know, the one with the fallen angels having sex with humans and the Nephilim giants that are eating people like snacks and God sending the flood to wipe everyone out like usual. But here's what they never tell you. There aren't just one or even two, there are 3 books of Enoch. Most people have only heard of the first one. Maybe a few know about the second. And the third, almost nobody talks about it. And that's where the real blasphemy begins. So think of the 3 books of Enoch kind of like the Star Wars trilogy. Like the original good ones before Disney got a hold of them. So if you remember in the first Star Wars movie, Luke learns that he's a Jedi. In the second, he starts training, and in the third, he becomes the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. So think of the 3 books of Enoch kind of like that. We've already gone through the first 2 here on this channel. In 1st Enoch, Enoch is revealed as the Messiah figure, the chosen one. In 2nd Enoch, he ascends through heaven, meets God face to face, and begins his transformation. And in 3rd Enoch, this one tells you what he became. Not just some prophet or even your average angel, a near godlike being. Metatron, the one they call the lesser Yahweh, meaning the little God. And that's where everything we know about heaven, angels, and humanity breaks wide open. See, in 3rd Enoch, it claims that Enoch was taken all the way up to heaven and transformed into the supreme angel known as Metatron. This was highly blasphemous because the ancient rabbis and priests didn't want you to know that a human can become a near godlike being. This book is basically a giant middle finger to everything we've been told about staying in our human place. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand the blueprint to how you can become divine. So 3rd Enoch actually doesn't open with Enoch, but with Rabbi Ishmael, who is a Jewish sage and mystic who, according to 3rd Enoch, ascended to heaven. He's basically minding his own business, practicing what's known as Merkabah mysticism, which is an ancient meditative practice to ascend through heavenly palaces, when suddenly he finds himself in the upper worlds, the heavens themselves. And he's about to find out exactly what happened to Enoch, and it's insane. Rabbi Ishmael said, "When I ascended on high to behold the vision of the Merkabah and had entered the 6 halls, one within the other, as soon as I reached the door of the 7th hall, I stood still in prayer before the Holy One." Alright, so Ishmael makes it through 6 heavenly halls unscathed, but as he approaches the 7th hall, the innermost sanctum, he hesitates because he knows he's way in over his head here. See, the gatekeepers of the 7th heaven are not exactly friendly to surprise guests. Ishmael freezes in prayer, basically pleading with God not to let the angels kick his mortal ass. "Lord of the universe, I pray thee, let it be good for me in this hour, so that Cassiel the prince and the angels with him may not get power over me, nor throw me down from the heavens." So the dude literally begs God to protect him from God's own angels. He knows these celestial bouncers aren't around. Imagine trying to sneak into a club guarded by freaking Navy SEALs. Only in this case, the club is God's throne room, and the SEALs are cosmic flaming entities who think humans smell awful? Seriously, we'll get to that part. It's weird. And guess what? God actually responds. "Forthwith the Holy One, blessed be he, sent to me Metatron, his servant, the angel, the prince of the presence, and he, spreading his wings with great joy, came to meet me so as to save me from their hand." Alright, so here comes Metatron stage right. God dispatches his top angelic enforcer to swoop in and grab Ishmael before the gatekeeping angels pulverize him. And Metatron appears in full glory, winged, radiant, probably with theme music blaring. He's called the Prince of the Presence, meaning he stands in God's immediate presence.
Wait, can you transform into a car? Where's Optimus Prime?
No, I get that a lot. That's this other guy.
Really? I was ready for a chariot of fire with seatbelts.
Afraid I travel in light, not metal. Hope that's not too disappointing.
Actually, kinda cooler.
So basically God's like, hey, don't mess with Ishmael, he's with my boy Metatron. That's kind of like the owner of the club coming out to let you pass the bouncers and into the VIP room. Metatron then personally guides Ishmael into the throne room. Then I entered the 7th hall, and he led me to the camps of the Shekinah and placed me before the Holy One, blessed be he, to behold the Merkabah. Okay, what the hell is the Shekinah? Well, the Shekinah is the holy presence of God. In Kabbalah, it's symbolically described as the feminine aspect of the divine, the part of God that actually dwells in the world. Okay, then what is the Merkabah exactly? Well, Merkabah means chariot, but in Jewish mysticism, it isn't a vehicle like some car. It's God's throne chariot. See, in the early mystical tradition called Merkabah mysticism, seekers tried to ascend through the heavenly palaces to witness visions of this throne. Mystics believed that encountering the Merkabah could transform a person's perception and pull them deeper and deeper into the awareness of the divine itself. So when the Shekinah and Merkabah appear together in this passage, it's showing the pathway of the mystic here. The Shekinah is God's presence that meets humanity where we are, and the Merkabah is the fuller blazing revelation beyond it. And together they form the bridge between the human realm and the full revelation of the divine. Or, in simpler terms, Ishmael is the ultimate party crasher at the holiest rave in the universe. And the reaction is exactly what you'd expect. As soon as the princes of the Merkabah and the flaming seraphim perceived me, they fixed their eyes upon me. Instantly, trembling and shuddering seized me, and I fell down and was benumbed by the radiant image of their eyes and the splendid appearance of their faces. Alright, so we have the highest angels, the 6-winged flaming seraphim, the Ophanim, which are huge spinning wheels covered in eyes, and the 4-faced cherubim, and they're all glaring at Ishmael, and the poor guy just collapses. He's like a deer in headlights if the headlights were 1,000 spinning angel eyes. The text literally says he was numb with fear until God himself shouted at the angels to knock it off. The Holy One, blessed be he, rebuked them. My servants, my seraphim, my cherubim, and my Ophanim, cover your eyes before Ishmael my son, that he trembles not. So God's basically like, cover your eyes, you idiots, you're scaring the human. And can you really blame Ishmael here? You sneak into heaven's VIP lounge and 8-foot flame monsters start eyeballing you. Yeah, you're gonna your ethereal pants. This is beyond fish out of water. He's more like a goldfish on Mars. Fortunately, Metatron is on the job. Metatron, the Prince of the Presence, came and restored my spirit and put me upon my feet. So Metatron revives Ishmael like, okay, kid, get up, deep breaths, try not to die. We literally just got here. Now at this point, all the angels are like, what the is this human doing here? So they turn to Metatron, appalled that he brought a lowly meat sack into the Holy of Holies. In that hour, the eagles of the Merkabah and the flaming Ophanim and the seraphim of consuming fire asked Metatron, saying to him, Youth, why do you let one born of woman enter and behold the Merkabah? From which nation? From which tribe is this one? What's his character? Okay, pause. They call Metatron youth here. Hold on to that. That's important. It's like they're sneering, hey, Junior, why the hell did you bring a mortal in here in the first place?
Why would you bring a human to sit with us?
He doesn't even glow. What plane of existence is he even from? Cover your faces before you make him cry.
Just ignore them. They're only flaming 6-winged organisms on Wednesdays.
So they're basically demanding Ishmael's credentials. Like, who is this guy? Is he even Jewish? What's he doing in our club? This is angelic gatekeeping at its finest. Heaven's elite are out here acting like a clique of mean girls, gossiping. They're totally gonna write a burn book about Enoch and Ishmael later.
Okay, write this down. Enoch, what should it be? Ew. Because
quite an interesting clip right there. Shows how much is known in the Bible and many do not know. Great work, how he uncovers those hidden gems. Shout out to Mr. Owens for the clip. Let's proceed with the video.
Some people are just disgusting human beings. Specifically, I'm talking about this woman, Jenny. And Jenny, she's around 34 years old when this story starts, and she's living in Alabama, and Jenny has a problem. She's addicted to prescription pills, specifically painkillers. Like, she takes 30 to 40 Percocet a day. And I'm assuming she gets all of them illegally. The problem with that is that a habit like this is expensive, and she needs to find a way to come up with some money. And so one day, around 2014, she comes up with an insane idea. She'll just tell people she has cancer, and maybe they'll feel bad for her and they'll donate money to her. And that's what she does. She starts telling people around her this crazy story about how one day she went to the doctor for a biopsy and either the doctor or the nurse used instruments on her that weren't properly sterilized, and because of that she got sepsis, which is your body having a bad reaction to an infection. And then she says that sepsis somehow turned into cancer. I'm not even sure if that's how sepsis even works, but this is what she's telling people. So she's posting about this stuff on her Facebook and just blasting it out to everyone. But here's the craziest part. She doesn't just tell her friends and acquaintances, she tells her own husband that she has cancer, and her kid. Like she legit goes to her 6-year-old son and is like, by the way, mommy's dying. But anyway, this actually works, and it works well. People believe her and they give her all kinds of sympathy. And now that she has their attention, it's time for her to start collecting money from them. So she goes and she launches some fundraisers. Jenny sets up a GoFundMe to help pay for her medical bills she claims she has. And of course, everyone just feels bad for her and they start donating. And they're sharing the GoFundMe on their social media, and local churches get involved. And of course, they fall for it. And they're encouraging everyone in the congregation to donate. And so the money starts coming in. And she also starts another GoFundMe called Mom Has Terminal Cancer Disney Trip, where on it, she literally states, I would like to experience Disney World with my 6-year-old son before I die within the year. And people feel bad, and they donate to that as well. So these 2 GoFundMes alone raised $38,000. And that's a lot of money, but $38,000 is not enough for Jenny. She wants more. So she starts hitting up close friends and family members, and she practically begs them for private donations. And I guess the churches she works with have online prayer groups, so she'll message the prayer groups with prayers, but the prayers are like, Dear Jesus, I need money for my cancer treatment, which is hinting to the rest of the group that she needs money. And so a lot of them read her prayers, and they start giving money to her. And to these people's credit, they really do pull through for her. They donate, they pay her utility bills for her, they pay her phone for her, they pay her mortgage for her, they pay for her and her family to take a trip to Chattanooga, they cover the hotel, they even pay for a scooter rental because she claims she can't walk far. Also, yes, Jenny does end up getting that trip to Disney World. And like one very generous friend ends up sending her $23,000. Damn. Now, of course, a ton...
Am I reaching, or is this an inappropriate way to greet your daughter? I mean, look at this. And then whenever his own wife tries to give him a kiss, he rejects her.
Those clips were really great. I really enjoyed them myself. If you are enjoying the video so far, drop a like below and tell us which clip in the video made your day. Let's go on with the rest of the video.
Boy, now listen to this. I have to tell you this. Okay. So after I left the party, and the next day I smoked with Michael, and then I get in the limousine, I leave. I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal over here. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there, and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean, tell them what happened? And I sit down with them, and they all ask these super sexually exploited, questions, back-sided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all 4 of them, and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you're crazy. And I looked over at my mom, and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened, I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving, everything you can think of. We rode 4-wheelers for 5 hours, me, him, and Chris Tucker, in the mountains at nighttime after his birthday party. Him and I hung out and talked pretty much all night. Got a couple hours of sleep. I wake up, but he's not even in the room. He pulled out a cot for me in his room, because I asked him, I was like, I want to hang out with you, I want to be around, it was Michael. Yeah. I want to hang out with him. I wanted to hang out with Michael. He pulled out a little cot or something. I laid on the cot. I wake up in the morning, his bed's made. There's a cleaning lady that wakes me up. I keep asking, where's Michael? I go over, he's got this huge statue figurine that Michael Jordan sent him for his birthday, because he collected that stuff. Went and smoked some with him, get in the car, and then all this shit happened when I got back to LA, and I'm like, what the is this? I was like, and I looked at my mom, I go, are you really trying to go at Michael and use me for a money grab? I was like, nothing. And I looked at him right now, I said, nothing happened. I said, Michael was flirting with girls right in front of me. Actually.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious because he was very charming.
I bet. It's Michael Jackson.
he made girls just light up, blush. And and like, I saw him looking at girls' booty. I said, I saw you looking at her booty. He was like, I was like, and so I hear these stories of like Wade Robson, and then I'm like thinking to myself, wait, hold up. I know Wade Robson. Wade Robson pretended to be the voice on my album, Aaron's Party, for my brother. Because my brother didn't do it, so Wade Robson did it. It was like a little spoof thing, an interlude in my second album, Aaron's Party. And Wade Robson did the voice of like pretending to be my brother or something. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Wade leaving Neverland? What is this? Like, what do you mean leaving Neverland? Like, I left Neverland. Everything was cool, homie. Like, what's your problem? Did you dream this up? Did your parents tell you to do this?
Yeah, I mean, they tried to sue for like $100 million, and ultimately it was dropped. They got nothing out of it, as they should.
Nothing. That dude didn't do like that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Michael better than all of them.
Yeah, I believe
even
everything
Macaulay,
that I've seen.
if it was Macaulay right now,
I'm not buying it.
Even if it was Macaulay Culkin sitting right here, he would tell you the same thing I did with the same assertiveness.
So Aaron Carter says that he spends some time with Michael at his ranch, and nothing happened. They had a good time along with Chris Tucker. And all of a sudden, FBI shows up at his front door, telling him, coercing him to reveal what happened between him and Michael. And he says nothing happened. We had a good time. And his mom is in on it. Why were the FBI trying to insinuate that something bad happened between Michael and Aaron Carter? Here's a video of the doctor, Conrad Murray, the one that was Michael Jackson's personal doctor that gave Michael Jackson medicine, speaking about the situation in which Michael Jackson took too much medicine, aka, and he passed away. And 60 Minutes Australia.
发送。问到看到了什么？
What you see?
是不是器材
Why?
White light and lots of like circles, geometric shapes.
Wow. Watch this.
It's another one of my favorite, like, I love the Bible. I can't believe how it all fits together. So here's what's awesome here. Okay. So you go back to the garden, and what do they lose? What they lose in the garden is access to the face of the Father. In the garden, they walk with him as in the cool of the day, side by side as a friend. We lose the face of the Father because sin separates. Okay. So then you fast forward to Moses. This is going to be really important. It's all going to tie together. Moses, the Bible says, is the only guy who talked face to face with God, quote, as with a friend. But we know that language is mitigated because Moses actually has this moment where he's like with God. He just almost like blurts out, like, show me your glory. And you guys remember what God says to him. He's like, man, there's a lot of things I can do for you, Mo. There's one thing I can't do. I can't show you my face. And he says, because no man shall see my face and live. And it's one of my favorite passages in the whole Old Testament. If you remember what he does, that's when God takes Moses and he sticks him literally in his hand, puts him in the cleft of a rock, covers him with his hand. The Hebrew literally says that God turns his back to Moses and causes his, quote, hind parts to pass in front of Moses. And then instead of showing him his face, he declares verbally his glory. Moses, who the Bible says it prophesies forward about Jesus. It says when Moses dies, it's prophesied someday there will come again a prophet like me, Moses says, who speaks with God face to face as a man with a friend. But remember, Moses was not allowed two things in his life. He was not allowed to see God's face. And because of Moses' disobedience, he struck the rock instead of speaking to it. Moses was never allowed to enter into the promised land. All right. Now, I love this so much. So then you fast forward to John chapter 1. And the Bible literally says right here, it says, man, then the word became flesh. And then it says, we have seen his glory as of the only Son from the Father. So Jesus is the glory of God. In fact, if you go back to the 10 commandments, the second commandment is don't make any graven images. Don't make any images of me. The reason that God commanded don't make any images of me is he was saying don't make any images because someday I'm going to send one. When people are looking at the face of Jesus, they are looking at the face of God. Okay, bro, this is where it gets pretty amazing.
I'm excited.
So then you fast forward to the transfiguration. All right. So Jesus goes up on the mountain. He brings 3 dudes with him, Peter, James, and John. What they record is they see Jesus' face, quote, transformed like lightning, and they see the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. And then two dudes appear on the top of the mountain. By the way, the mountain was Mount Hermon, which is inside the promised land. The two dudes who see the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ are Moses and Elijah. Yeah. And so thousands of years later, after Moses was denied two things, Moses, I'm real sorry, you can't see my face and you can't go into the promised land. And then in Jesus, Moses is on that mountain and he's two things. He's seeing the face of God in the glory of Jesus Christ. And guess where he is? He's in the promised land.
Well, oh man.
It's amazing, bro. The Bible is amazing.
So what is the difference between the Messiah, Yeshua, and Yehoshua, the prophet? Yeshua means salvation. It means this person will bring the salvation. He is the Messiah, Yeshua. Yehoshua is the name of the prophet that succeeded Moshe, Moses. And he's the prophet, Yehoshua. His name means Jehovah will save. While Yeshua himself is the person that's supposed to save. He is the Messiah. He is a prophet. Now you know.
There you have it, another wild ride through the weirdest corners of the internet. Thanks for hanging out with us here at Chill Spot. If you had a good time, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you never miss our next creepy adventure. Got a spooky clip we haven't covered yet? Drop it in the comments below. Until next time, stay chill, stay curious, and we'll catch you in the next one.